The NBA season has been unforgettable, full of exciting surprises. Some players have rose to the occasion, and others have become associated with something that no one wants to be a part of, the Shanghai Sharks. What it do, what's good YouTube, it's your boy Kevo Jr. and I'm back with another video, man. My first upload in about a week, so it feel good to get some more content out for y'all. But in today's video, we're going to be talking about the biggest disappointments of this season, also known as who's going to be on the new Shanghai Sharks roster. So let's get into it. Up first, we got Ben Simmons. And I said in my last video that I had the Hawks beating the Sixers in Game 7 because Ben Simmons couldn't score. And what do you know? He only put up 4 shots in a winner-go-home situation and went on to average 9 points and only 6 shots per game for the series. His inability to score and be aggressive is one of the reasons why he's in this video. If he would stop running around and looking to pass every possession, maybe this wouldn't even be a topic. This season, Ben Simmons solidified himself as one of the most overrated players in the league, and I'm not the only person who thinks that.
I think Ben Simmons is one of, if not the most overrated players in the NBA.
Up next, we got Joe Harris, and Joe Harris stunk up the Eastern Conference semifinals versus the Bucks. He averaged only 9 points per game and shot 34% from the field and 32% from 3. He missed multiple game-clinching shots versus the Bucks and was a huge reason as to why they lost that series.
This is the screen. Back out to Harris. 4 on the 24. Harris has an open two-pointer. Won't go. Rebound. There's Durant. Blocked by Lopez. Comes to Harris, who fires, and he's off.
For someone who was known as a sharpshooter, and at one point in his career he was compared to Klay Thompson, this was a bad showing by Joe Harris. Next, we got the head of the fraudulent basketball club, Kyle Kuzma. He was one of the first players to be deemed as the future of the Shanghai Sharks due to him not living up to everyone's expectations. He was hyped up early on in his career until LeBron came and his productivity decreased. He has made more notable bonehead plays than almost anyone in the NBA.
Inside, Bridges deflects it, shot clock at 10. Kuzma will pierce.
A harsher penalty. Ooh, Kuzma. Wow. But that's when they moved the line in. They had to move the line in for a few years. Del Curry was on that team.
Went times on his knees, throws it ahead to James. Now to Kuzma. Kuzma up. Shot won't go. I think he was trying to decide.
The next disappointment we got is the new pandemic P, Kristaps Porzingis. The 7'3" shooting guard, formerly known as the savior of the Knicks, gave generational talent Luka Doncic absolutely no help in the playoffs. After being traded to Dallas, many thought this would be the next star duo that would bring the Mavs back to championship contention. However, Porzingis had us all fooled.
We have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok, and flat out deceived.
Porzingis is most likely to be traded this offseason, but as of right now, there is no true value for the unicorn. The big man of this team is the quote defensive player of the year in Rudy Gobert. He got flat out embarrassed by the Clippers in the second round of the playoffs this year. He got dunked on numerous times and picked on by smaller guards throughout the entire series. Like I said in my previous Clippers Jazz video, Ty Lue found a nerf for Gobert, and that's why he's on this list. At the top of the bench unit, we got Cardio Kemba. After coming to Boston from the Hornets, Kemba underperformed and didn't live up to expectations. He battled knee injuries which forced him to miss a lot of games, but when he was on the court, he didn't really do shit but smile the whole time. He's now been traded to the Thunder and isn't seen as the elite point guard he once was. Next up is Tyler Hero and Jimmy Butler. Hero is on this roster because he fooled everyone after the bubble by thinking he was an up-and-coming star. He even fooled the Heat by not trading him for Kyle Lowry or James Harden. Since then, his value has tanked and he isn't thought of as a budding star that everyone once seen him as. And for his teammate Jimmy Butler, he was basically a no-show in the first round versus the Bucks. He only averaged 14 points and shot less than 30% from the field. That's horrible for a number 1 option on the team who just went to the finals a year before. And also bad for someone who said,
I think I'm stupidly locked in. I can tell you that.
After being named most improved player, Julius Randle and the Knicks were expected to make some noise in this year's playoffs. Randle was supposed to be the new king of New York and carry the Knicks, who had a long playoff drought, but that was not the case as he had a very inefficient series versus the Hawks. He only shot 29% from the field on almost 20 shots per game. The Hawks had a great defensive game plan and completely shut him down. His shot selection was horrible, and this series showed that Randle has a lot of work to do if he wants to become elite. Oh, and Knicks fans, I'm sure it's still. And the last member of the Shanghai roster is the stat pattern himself, Andre Drummond. In his career, Drummond has never really contributed to winning basketball, but people thought it would be different once he got to LA since he would be playing with LeBron. But after his arrival, I knew it wouldn't work as he caused the paint, and that doesn't leave enough room for players like Anthony Davis to hoop. Drummond only averaged 9 points and 21 minutes a game in the playoff series versus the Suns, and his only notable moment was his imitation of LeBron. If Drummond wants to return to the Lakers next season, he'll most likely have to take the veteran minimum, which he has already shot down. And last but not least, the coach who was the biggest disappointment of this season was Doc Rivers. The Sixers were seen as finals contenders as they held the first seed in the East. They eventually blew 2 big leads in the Eastern Conference semifinals, an 18-point lead in Game 4, a 26-point lead in Game 5, and ultimately lost in Game 7 at home versus the Hawks. Doc Rivers has now lost the most Game 7s in NBA history with a 3-9 record in his coaching career, and has tied Rick Adelman for the longest losing streak in Game 7s by any NBA coach with 4. His most notable choke job was with the Clippers when they blew a 3-1 lead against the Nuggets in the bubble. In my opinion, he is one of the most overrated coaches in recent memory, and if it wasn't for his 2008 championship with the Celtics, Doc could very well be unemployed today. So with all the players that we saw emerge this season, others didn't, and they were seen as huge letdowns this year. Let me know in the comments if I'm missing anyone else who disappointed this year. Appreciate y'all for watching, and look out for more. Peace.